This is the second video in the Noahides and Messiah series. This time, we'll look at what it means for the Messiah to be a descendant of King David. The Messiah is a human being born of a physical father and mother. He is a direct descendant from father to son of King David. For in 2 Samuel chapter 7, we read that God is saying to David, "When your days are finished, and you shall lay down with your forefathers, then I will raise up your seed that shall proceed from your body after you, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son, so that when he goes astray, I will chasten him with the rod of man and with the strips of the sons of Adam. But my mercy shall not depart from him, as I withdraw it from Saul, whom I removed from before you. And your house and your kingdom shall be confirmed forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever." So, from this text we learn that a Messiah from the tribe of Judah, as promised in Genesis chapter 19, will come from the dynasty of King David through King Solomon. So he has to be a direct descendant, so from a Jewish father to a Jewish son. The text makes clear that the Messiah must physically come from David and that he will be king. The text also explains that the Messiah will be a regular person. So every human being has a good and an evil inclination and has the free choice to use it according to his will. The Messiah can theoretically make mistakes just as well as any other human being, and he also has to suffer the consequences. The fact that the kingdom of David is eternal does not mean that his kingship has no interruptions periods until the kingship of the Messiah. His story has taught us that when the people were in captivity in Babylon, there was no king of Israel. King Zedekiah was overthrown by the Babylonians, and they destroyed the first temple. So since that time, there has not been a king of Israel that was direct descendant of King David, but the dynasty of his descendants continues. An important point that we should not overlook with regards to the birth line of the Messiah is that he must not only come physically from David, but also from Solomon, and not from one of his other children. We read in the book of Chronicles, "Behold, a son will be born to you. He will be a man of peace. And I, God, shall give him peace from all his enemies around about, for Solomon will be his name. And I shall give peace and quiet to Israel in his days. He shall build a house in my name, and he shall be to me as a son, and I to him as a father. And I shall prepare the throne of his kingdom forever." We see from the previous verse that God calls Solomon his son, thereby expressing his love for him. God also mentioned David as his son in the Tehillim in Psalms 2. "I will tell of the decree. The Lord said to me, you are my son. This day have I begotten you." So God makes it clear that it is David whom he has chosen to be king. We can read it also in 1 Samuel in chapter 16. "And the Lord said to Samuel, until when are you mourning for Saul, when I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Will you horn with oil and come? I shall send you to Jesse, to the person at Bethlehem, for I have seen for myself a king among his sons. It is said, as it were, this king is mine, and he is my son and servant. and he obeys me. For anyone who is obedient in the servants of God, he calls him his son, just as a son obeys his father and is ready for his service. In Deuteronomy chapter 14, it states, "You, the Jewish people, are sons of the Lord your God, and I will be his father, and he, the son of David, who will be king and build the holy temple of God, shall be my son." And it's also said, "the sons of the living God," in Hosea chapter 2. It's important to understand that the Messiah is a patrilineal descendant of David and of his son Solomon, and that this lineage doesn't come from one of his other sons, such as Nathan, as the Christian Bible claims in the book of Luke in chapter 3. Next time, we will zoom in on the fact that there will be a restoration of the anointed Davidic kingdom.